Scorpio Ascendant, Scorpio Rising, how are you? This is G with your beginning of August video. We're going to talk about the energies that happen at the very front end of August. We'll go about midway and then we'll do another video for you guys later in the month. However, we have a full moon occurring and you're going to want to find out what era of your life. This is an ecliptic full moon. And I say ecliptic because there's a planet involved in this upcoming full moon in August. I will give you the date, I will give you the degree, but we're going to go over 5 things. And those five things, we're going to find out about the areas of your life, what folks could be involved, the potentialities of the energy, and we're also going to discuss some future events, not too far down the line. It's all going to be relevant because there's so many things that occurred at the end of July going right directly into August. If you didn't catch your July video, there was 2 every month. Watch your Scorpio Ascendant, Scorpio Rising videos because astrology is an evolutionary process. You know, like in math class, you had to like pay attention to the first things they taught you. You know, you had to know how to add and to subtract before you could get like, before you could go to like multiplication and division and all that. It's kind of like that. I mean, you can just jump in and listen to get the whole picture of the story and to see, okay, I can kind of tell where this is going because you understand that there's this evolutionary astrology process of the whole thing. So we're beginning at the butt end of July. Like I said before, if you didn't watch that video, go watch it. Occurring is a Pluto-Mercury thing. What these planets right off the top, number 5, is that same energy takes us into the very beginning of the month of August. And at the beginning, it is all about those that have been in power, religions, governments, banking, big business. These are structures that were long-standing because Pluto's in Capricorn energy. So it's structures that we built up over long periods of time. Now, Pluto, though, represents the behind-the-scenes stuff of those structures. Pluto is power. It's this very relentless force that can never be destroyed. Pluto is our soul's power. And so Pluto energy, it's this thing we can't see, right? You look at somebody, can you see their soul? Some would claim that they could, but typically you see the body. Typically you see the personality. Typically, you see the actions, you see the byproducts. You don't necessarily look at them, right? Even if you were to say, but I can see their aura, that is their energy field around their body. It is not their soul energy. Pluto is this thing that's below the surface energy, very deep, very powerful, very slow moving is Pluto. Now, Mercury's my thinking, my talking, my relating, my communicating. So Mercury and Pluto are talking, and they kind of do get along because Mercury likes to think. It is all about details. It has the capacity to talk about details and to think it and look at the details. It has the ability to be nitty-gritty and to say, okay, I'm going to go over all these things with a fine-tooth comb. I got to dot the I's, cross the T's. Mercury has the ability to do that. It's a quick thinker. It can grasp ideas fast. Mercury is also the internet because Mercury rules Gemini, and Gemini is the 3rd house placement. And Gemini and Mercury, a lot of the same things, right? It's about my data. It's like coworkers, neighbors, people in my community, people on the internet. So Pluto opposing that, they are now having a conversation. Opposing means one's at one side and the other one's at the other. So when they have this complete lineup at 23 degrees, right? 23 degrees of Capricorn, 23 degrees of Cancer, they've opened up a line of communication. And Mercury's sending it's doing that whole telephone call, right? You got the little cans set up and the string, and Mercury's talking, and Pluto's responding and saying, really? And yelling back to Mercury. So they're conversing, and Pluto is telling Mercury secrets. And I call it secrets because Pluto, it's things that you didn't know. It's things that were buried, things that were out of the know, right? Like, oh, it's all the way over there. Like, holy crap, I can't see it anymore, right? Nope, bring it back. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Now I can see it. It's up close. It's right in front of me. It's in the light. But no, that's not Pluto. Pluto's below the surface, hidden, buried. That's Pluto. So when we talk about Pluto in Capricorn and people who are the bosses, the big bosses, the CEO, the government, the big cheese, these communications are about, wow, really? That's been going on? Oh my gosh. Now, there's a lot of other energies happening, okay? So we're going to go to number 4. All right, we're going to go to number 4. This is Mars, doing its thing with the planet Jupiter. Now, for those who are listening for degrees, I want you to pay attention. We want to know about Pluto and Mercury in your life and the location. My bad. I jumped right off of that. I gave you the meanings. I'm kind of scattered. I have to apologize. I'm going to be honest with you. I am kind of scattered. So I've got notes written everywhere. 9 times out of 10, I can just go it. But I'm scattered, right? I can't, there's this whole Mercury in the getting into the latter degrees of Cancer energy. It's really testing my ability to think clearly. Once Mercury gets out of Cancer, it'll be way different. You'll see too. You'll notice. You'll look at G and you'll be like, God damn, can I have some of that? Because I'll just be like, like fuel, rocket fuel. We have your Plutonian energy, right? For Scorpio ascendant. Your Pluto is in Capricorn. And so your Capricorn energy is in your 9th house. And this is what you believe. No, it's not. It's in your opposite. It's in your 3rd house. I'm sorry. You see, I'm showing you a great example. This is just really an astrology lesson. I'm not really this crazed right now. All right, so your Capricorn energy is in your 3rd house. Capricorn is the way you think. You have structured ways of thinking, right? And so there's Pluto being there. There's something coming to light. There's something about the way you think, about the way you relate, about siblings. I have to be honest with you because it's in the 3rd house. I want you to pay attention to this. There's something about neighbors, people in your community, siblings. It doesn't have to necessarily be blood siblings, but anybody who we kind of consider a brother or a sister. The internet is involved here as well. And so Pluto being involved, for you, this is going to be interesting. Interesting meaning it's probably going to be kind of intense because you've got Capricorn in the 3rd house of internet, it's the Gemini energy. You've got Capricorn and Pluto there. Pluto is sitting there. And so when Mercury comes through over there in your 9th house, Mercury meaning Mercury in Cancer is bringing in higher knowledge down to your 3rd house, the belief system, right? Higher knowledge. It's giving you some information that your Pluto, right? They're talking and they are really having some conversations and they're deep conversations, right? These are deep matters. These aren't just, frilly, sweet stuff. There could be some deep things, but normally when Pluto's involved, it's things that some would attach the word subversive to it, things that might not be all the best. And so all you want to do is know the degrees, because if you have a planet there, then it would be something that's big. Now, if you don't have a planet there, then you're probably going to hear about it. This is how I found out that it happens. If I don't have a planet at that point, I find out that I hear about somebody else who did have a planet at that point. Like if it's happened to so-and-so, oh, they had a planet right at that point. That's how this works. What that means is information coming through. And then this has everything to do with the way you think and communicate, the way you believe, hidden judgments, right? Because it's your 3rd and your 9th house. You're thinking, speaking, communicating, your 9th house of your belief about religion, your philosophy on life, foreign countries, foreigners. This is your 9th house energy. But so much of that is about your family up there in your 9th house, beliefs about family. And when I say beliefs about family, it's more specifically mom. Beliefs about mom, thinking about mom, being a mom, my ability to, all of that. The mother wound is in your 9th house, your beliefs about the mother wound. So more specifically for you, that's about all I can give you, unless I'm looking at your chart. Now, when we go on to number 4 for you, we've got the whole Mars-Jupiter thing happening. We've got your Aries energy and your Capricorn energy, which again, Capricorn, 3rd house, thinking, but Mars is there. I'm sorry, Mars is squaring the thinking. Mars is squaring the Jupiter that's in your 3rd house. Now, what happens is this typically is actually a beneficial thing, even though it's a square, because Mars and Jupiter sends a beam over to Mars. Now, where's your Mars energy? In Aries. So where's your Aries energy? In your chart. If you're a Scorpio ascendant, Scorpio rising, your Arian energy is in your 6th house. 6th house is health, your health. 6th house is your health routines, your health habits. 6th house is hygiene. 6th house is also work, your day-to-day work routines, how you work, but it's your body being there, meaning do you do something for a living that utilizes your body? Because having Aries energy in the 6th house means you would want to serve, you would want to work using your body. And that could be, like, there's a million different ways that can look. Typically, doing something different, doing something new, always starting new work, new routines, new health routines. This would be quite possible, and that would be exciting for someone with that energy in that house. There's a beneficial thing happening. When Mars is squaring with Jupiter, it is saying, hey, I think there's this great idea, and this great idea could somehow give you a sense of freedom, a sense of excitement, a sense of something new. But there's a caution. When we're dealing with Mars, anytime we're dealing with Mars and Jupiter squaring up, it means that there can be beneficial action. Also, what it means is that we have to think before we take action. This is imperative. Thinking before we take action with our body is important. Because if we don't, if we rush, because we're going to feel rushed. I shouldn't say feel rushed. We are going to be the ones who want to rush. Not that someone's pushing us, but we are going to be like, but I want to start this, but I want to do this. And the caution is don't do that. There may even be an opportunity. Someone may come to you and say, hey, I got this great idea. Let's do this, right? And you may be like, yeah, let's go do it. But there's a caution, a big caution, all right? Especially if you have planets. Look in your chart for these degrees at 19 degrees, 19, 20 degrees. So anywhere between 17 and 21 degrees, you're going to want to be aware. 17 of 21 degrees of cardinal signs, more specifically Aries and Capricorn. Okay, now going to number three. Number three is the full moon that occurs. The full moon is happening on the 3rd of August. Now this full moon, I'm calling it an ecliptic full moon. And I'm only using that word, ecliptic, because there is an eclipse point involved in this full moon. This full moon isn't just a regular full moon. A full moon is when the sun is at one end and the moon is at the other. They're opposing each other. So for you, the full moon occurs in your Aquarian energy in your 4th house. The full moon happens at 11 degrees and 46 minutes in the sign of Aquarius. And for Scorpio ascendant, Scorpio rising, typically 11 degrees, 11/12 degrees, really, because it's 11:46, is in your 4th house. 4th house is your home. It is your inner emotional home, but it is also where you live. Now, if you have this full moon there, that means emotions in the home, because all full moons are when we have heightened emotion. Now, what makes this an ecliptic full moon? I'm going to get to that, but I want to save that little ecliptic part for the last so we don't get confused, okay? But all you need to know is there's a heightened emotion and it's about the home. The home is here, right? Now, what's at the opposite of the home? Okay, the opposite of Aquarius energy, the opposite of Aquarian energy is Leo energy. And Leo is my individuality, how I express uniquely in the world. It is my ability to shine, to be in the spotlight, to have a good time. That is Leo energy. I want to laugh. I want to have fun. That's Leo. Leo likes to have a good time. Leo loves to laugh, right? And Leo feels even better if it can incorporate the group. That is a super high expression of Leo energy, making sure that not just me fun, but fun for we. That's a great expression, high expression of Leo energy. If you've got the moon in the 4th, your Aquarian energy, right? And you've got your Leo, right? At the opposite of your 4th house, your Leo energy is all up in your 10th house. So this is my ambition. So your ambition is for me to have a good time, for me to be an entertainer, for me to have fun, for me to be really creative, because Leo is all about having fun and entertaining. Maybe you're the jokester, but in your 10th house placement up there, this is an ambition. This is a goal. This is a desire. This is a dream, but not so much a dream like go to sleep and dream or wish upon a star dream, but something you're really willing to work towards. You'll take the steps. You'll do what you need to do to make that come true. That is what this is about. This is about, I am going to do this. I'm going to make it happen because I know I've got it. I've got the fire in me, baby. And I know that if I open up and let this stuff shine out, people are going to be like, wow, I'm fun and entertaining. So here's the thing, the full moon, right? And the emotions, they're opposing each other. The sun's down here, the moon's up here. So the sun, right, and the moon, there's a light gets shined on something. And that light from the 10th house, your ambitions, right? And your 4th house, right? Your home and your goals, your home and your goals. There's this push-pull. Something occurs, the full moon occurs, and there's some sort of a, oh my God, I didn't know that. Or I thought I knew it, but now I'm getting confirmation. There's more information coming through. I'm getting confirmation that this thing that I thought might have been really is, right? And so it's a closure. That's why we say the full moons are closure. It's like, see a full moon as the last straw. Like there's all these little incidents that occurred, but all of a sudden something else happens and it's like, okay, it's a wrap. I'm done with that, right? And it doesn't necessarily mean you're walking away from somebody, but there is something that occurs. And because the full moon's in the 4th house, it has to do with the home. It has to do with group energy. It has to do with family because it's in that area. But yeah, group energy and friends can be involved too. Friends that you considered family, family members that you're friends with. Again, it's Aquarius energy. Aquarius energy is the internet. Aquarius energy is flight as well, so airplanes, aviation. Aquarian energy is advancements for humanity. Aquarian energy is devices and like iPads, the computer, like things that were created, that were invented to advance us. So any sort of invention, that is definitely Aquarian energy. So when you think about that, put it in context of your life, and that'll help give you more details. There's a T-square at this full moon. I'm going to mention that next, because I want to get to number two. Number two is going to be all about the fact that Venus is moving. And this is nice because Venus was in Gemini energy for a long time. It was in the energy of my community, of I want to get in the car and I got to take a ride. I want to travel, which was nice, right? But Venus is now moving into the sign of Cancer. So what happens is Venus energy is all about love, all about who do I love, what do I love, self-love. How do I give? How do I receive? This is what Venus is, and it's in Cancer energy. So it's how do I give and receive empathy? How do I give and receive compassion? How do I give and receive understanding? I like this. I do. I like this a lot. It's about this time. We have a lot. We're all living 2020. Yes, game changer year, without a doubt. Lifetime game changer, 2020. This 1 year, the first 6 months, game changer, right? All the events, all the people, oh my God, I can't believe, right? How many times have you said that in 2020? How many times have you said that in the last 3 months? Just in the last 3 months. So what we have, Venus becoming more compassionate, Venus becoming more understanding. The way she loves, there's this impression, there's just more understanding and empathy. Venus is what I love and who I love, but there's more of this mom energy. There is more of this nurturing energy. So this is a big, big, big time of self-love, self-care. We just had a new moon which emphasized this, but this is a re-emphasis of self-love and self-care, because at the end of the day, folks, how we treat ourselves, how we think about ourselves, the self-talk that we have. Do you talk to your heart? Seriously, do you talk to your heart? I want you to start talking to your heart. Ask your heart, what does it need? When we start talking to our heart, all right, when we start talking to our heart, we hear things that sometimes can be shocking. We hear things that we had inklings of, but that we ignored, we pushed to the side. But at this time, this is definitely a time when it's time to talk to not only your heart, but you'll have the ability to talk to your heart. And if you're a healer, like if you work with energy, your heart can talk to others' hearts, because we also have, right, this is like around the 6th and the 7th of August, we've got Mercury moving into Leo energy, heart communications, communicating with my heart speaking. This is glorious, and we need this. And this is a really good time to do it because we also have some other things happening. We've got Neptune talking exactly, sextiling with Jupiter. And so there's some beautiful stuff. Now, at the same time, we also have some other difficult things happening. We've got Saturn communicating with Mercury too as the time moves on, as we get deeper into August. We've got Saturn at one end and we've got Mercury over here. And what happens when Saturn and Mercury are exactly opposite of each other, if you're listening for degrees, this is 28 degrees of Gemini, 28 degrees of Cancer and 28 degrees of Capricorn energy. What happens is our thinking, because Saturn restricts, Saturn is more serious, very serious actually. Saturn's like, but these are the rules. These are the rules. And it's just so simple and serious and no fun at all. You can't have any fun. You've got to work. That's Saturn. But Mercury is the mind. And so Saturn's busy telling the mind, you got to work. And it's very serious. Some people can experience depression at this time. And now you need to be aware of this ahead of time, okay? So what I'm looking at in the chart is right now, for the full moon energy on August 3rd, Mercury is already at 27 degrees and Saturn is already also at 27 degrees. And so they're exactly opposing each other. Earlier we had Pluto opposing Mercury because Pluto and Mercury at 23. So Mercury is a pretty fast mover, right? So by this full moon, you've got Mercury and Saturn talking to each other. And so depression. I've already got people who've already been messaging me saying, gee, what the hell's going on? I am feeling depressed. I can use the word depressed, and I haven't felt this way in a long time. This will pass. As soon as Mercury gets the hell away from Saturn, it won't be as bad. But if you're somebody who has already been dealing with depression, if you know that, then you know right now, when I talked about Venus and the empathy and self-nurturing, self-care, being diligent with positive thinking, get around people who can help you. This is going to be super important at this time, okay? Yes, there are things that have to get done, yes, but you matter, and your health and well-being is the most important thing, because without that, you can't do all those other things that need to be done. Take care of you first. Love you first. Take those timeouts. I don't care what else is going on. Take care of you first. If you need to reach out to people, you need to reach out to me. Whoever you need to reach out to, you reach out. I'm putting that out there because this is a serious time. Now, we do have other help. Like I said, we've got Neptune helping Jupiter, big time, talking, communicating. So it helps to balance it out. This seriousness is for those who already deal with depression regularly. Let's move on to number one. Number one is that Mercury will be in Leo. Now, I love this because Mercury in Leo is about having fun and laughter and a good time. And this is really, really good. This happens, Mercury doesn't get to Leo until the 6th of August. But when Mercury gets to Leo on the 6th of August, right? So I said the 6th/7th, at those same, around that same time, Venus goes into Cancer, which is all about self-care, self-love, communicating in ways and loving, empathy, and nurturing. And Mercury goes into Leo. And so Leo is all about positivity and sunlight and love and communicating from the heart and being optimistic and saying, you're not alone. I'm here. I can help you. I want to help you. Reach out and touch someone. This is Leo. This is Mercury in Leo. This is find a way to laugh. Find the Leo inside you. Find someone in your life that's a Leo. Engage in activities from childhood that made you laugh. Engage in activities that you have fun with. It's not a very long period of time. Mercury goes really fast through the sign of Leo, really fast. I want to give you guys a question. I want to know what happens when fire and oxygen mix together, because Mercury is air. It's thinking, right? It's the oxygen, right? It's the air that we breathe. Leo is fire energy. It's fixed fire. So what happens, right? What happens when Mercury, when air mixes with fiery Leo? What happens? What happens when oxygen and fire mix? Comment that below. When Mercury and Leo are together, it's a beautiful thing. It's a great time to begin a new regimen for mind training. It's a great time for that. All of a sudden, it's going to be easier to say, every day I'm going to write down some affirmations. Every day I'm going to begin my day with gratitude. I'm going to write down 10 things every morning that I'm grateful for. 10 things that make me smile. 10 things that I love about me. Like, this is a really good time to do this, folks. So this begins on the 6th of August, but realize Mercury's only there for 14 days. However, you can create a nice habit in that time. If you start doing it diligently within those 14 days, that energy will carry over. The energy will carry over, and you want to do this especially if you're someone who struggles with depression, who struggles with seriousness, who struggles with, I work, and I don't ever find time to have a good time. I don't make time for fun. I don't make time for me. And this is what this is about, because there's so many other very heavy, serious things going on in life. We are being shown that if we don't do that, if we don't make us a priority and our mental well-being and our inner sacred space, if we don't pencil that in on the calendar daily, me time daily, just me, not the kids and me, just me daily, then there won't be any of me left. And so that's what this is. This is saying, get right with yourself. Because once we embrace who we are, once we take that child, those degrees of ourselves, those degrees within each of us that are those you know, the little boy, the little girl, the masculine, the feminine degrees of our being that represent a part of our life when we were really, really little. If we embrace those little me's inside of us and we find out what they're missing, like what did they not get? The heart will help you to get there. Talk to the heart. But embrace this, take this forward, because I'm going back to the full moon. But when that big full moon occurs in your group energy in the home, and in your, you know, opposite of your group energy is your ambitions, your goals, right? At the same time, the ecliptic point is 10 degrees and 28 minutes in Taurus energy. This is an eclipse point that is going to be happening. It hasn't happened yet. It happens in 2022. I'm sharing this right now because Uranus is right here at the same time that this full moon occurs. Uranus is the third player involved in the T-square. So the sun at 10, almost 11, or I'm sorry, 11, 12 degrees, the moon at 11, 12 degrees, and Taurus energy, Aquarian energy right here, like at 10:34. So it's a degree away. Now, Taurus energy is what I value. So it has a lot to do with this Venusian, with this Venus stuff I've been talking about, and how to take care of me. Again, it's a reemphasis of what I value in my life. And so for Scorpios, this has everything to do with your 7th house, your significant one-on-one relationships, your partnerships, the person you're married to. That's 7th house energy, right? This is, okay, this is just me and you talking here, nobody else. This is Scorpio and Taurus talking here. That's your 7th house energy, is your Taurus energy. So see if you have something at like 1023. If you do, this is going to be a big deal for you. And if you don't know and you want to know, I can look that up for you. I can take a quick peek, and that's for free. All right, because I would rather that you know in advance. And if you don't want to know in advance, that's okay too. This is open for those who want to know. I'm always saying know before you go.